Once again, we're back
Yes.
talking about our evening here. We've been going through quite a bit of different questions. Do you have any crazy roommate stories by chance? I caught you off guard with that.
Yeah, because I do, but it was really bad, so I probably don't want to talk about that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, moving on. What favorite color are you, and how does that color make you feel?
Oh, yeah. My favorite color is like the color like a teal, the color of my scarf. It's soothing.
Okay.
I like the color. I'm a beach bum. I love the ocean, so it reminds me of ocean water.
Oh, okay. What was the last ocean trip that you took?
I usually go to the Gulf. The last I haven't. Well, anyway, I was like I haven't been on vacation in 2 years.
Uh-oh.
But the last time I went to the beach, it was PCB. It was Panama City.
Okay.
Mhm.
That's a popular choice among Nashville.
The Gulf, yeah.
For sure. Okay, so what is the weirdest thing you've ever eaten for breakfast that is not a breakfast food?
Oh, like pizza?
Yeah, girl, you can never go wrong with some
Yeah.
good pizza.
Even if it's cold, yeah.
Especially when it's cold.
But like the
it's poppin'.
weirdest food would probably be something like cake or some ice cream.
Okay.
That's not breakfast food.
So we all live by our mother's advice. Does your mom, does she have a popular catchphrase?
Oh, she has a lot of phrases. Oh, some of them are so bad.
Come on, mama.
I'm like, no, I don't want to repeat that. Gosh, so many. Can we come back to that one?
Okay.
Because I want to come up with one of them. I've heard them all my life.
Okay. Yeah, we will definitely circle back to that. Okay. We're gonna have an Oprah moment for a second.
Okay.
If you were to create a slogan for your life, what would the slogan be?
Okay, let's do this. A slogan for my life right now. Let's just say right now.
Okay.
Would be like do over. Remember that movie Do Over with Adam Sandler, or Start Over? That would be for right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll hit
Just
the
totally.
reset button.
Yeah. Just totally. Yes. Exactly.
The reset button. There it is. All right. So if you woke up tomorrow as an animal, what animal would you choose to be and why?
I'm a cat lover, so I guess I'll be a cat because they're smart.
Oh, welcome to Chat with Dave. I'm your host, David McHenry, and I'm here with Jay Ripken, who is a horror movie aficionado. So we're gonna, and is actually working on his own horror movies, and has aspirations of doing even more with that. So join us now. So Dave, I'm Dave. You're Jay.
How you doing?
Well, I'm glad we got that part straight. So Jay, tell me about what are some of your influences, your biggest influences?
Oh, definitely like John Carpenter, Wes Craven, Adam Green. Those are probably the top three. Toby Hooper.
Toby Hooper.
Can't leave him out. And drawing a blank. Doesn't matter.
Rob Zombie.
Rob Zombie. There you go. That was it.
We were chatting a little before the show and decided that, and you had mentioned Rob Zombie. So, well, tell us a little bit. So what is it about those that drew you in? What was the moment in your life when Jay said, I want to do horror?
That's easy. When I was a little kid, most kids, 3, I got in my grandma's VHS tapes, and I found this movie called Maximum Overdrive. And that was kind of the start of it. That's like where I got into rock and roll, the whole soundtrack, AC/DC, and it's just trucks for an hour and a half causing mayhem. And that's where it started. And then I saw Friday the 13th, and yeah, just snowballed.
Snowballed from there.
The more blood and guts, the more whatever, the more I wanted to see it. So, you hear about the movie like, oh, it's banned in these countries. I got to see it. And, my parents would give me, a couple bucks. You're like, go to the video store. This was like when I got a little older. I'd rent everything. Didn't matter. Like I was like, 10 years old, have my friends to sleepovers, and I'm renting Frankenhooker,
Right.
So.
So, well, what's one of your favorite? Who would you say is your favorite of that whole group? If you could pin it down to one.
Probably Rob Zombie.
Okay.
I mean, as far as newer, because his style, he kind of took everything and put it all together and just made everything in one film.
Did you like his remake of the Halloween
I loved
franchise?
it. I know a lot of people hate it, but I loved it.
That's nothing wrong with that.
And Scout Taylor's really hot, so.
Yeah, there you go. I grew up on the original. I actually remember seeing Maximum Overdrive in the theater, and it was quite. That was the first and only movie I think Stephen King directed of his own stuff.
It is, and he was whacked out on cocaine the entire time.
I can tell. Creepiest scene was the Coke machine.
Yeah,
It
it shoots him out.
shoots him out, and everything knocks the guy in the head, and knocks him in the stomach, then the head. Well, Jay, this has been fascinating, but we are already out of time. So again, this was Chat with Dave, and thank you, folks, and you guys have a good night.
Welcome to the Horror Show. I'm your hostess of the dark, Amelia McHenry, and I'm here today with Andrew Ford, an up-and-coming horror movie maker extraordinaire. Hi, Andrew. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. So we're here to talk about your new up-and-coming movie, and it's you've said that it's based on unsolved mysteries. So tell me more about that.
Yeah, it's called The Reenactment, and it's about the crew that's filming the reenactments for, and there goes the microphone, unsolved mysteries type show, and the house they're filming at, there might be more going on there than they think.
So how did you come up with this idea?
A friend and I had two different ideas, and we just put them together. We're like, they just work best if they go together, so we were like, okay, let's just do that.
Awesome, awesome. So what do you have a particular unsolved mystery that they're reenacting, or is it a couple of them, or how did you come up with that?
It's one. There's a unsolved mystery about these bank robbers that went missing, but it's not based on a real. I mean, there are real examples of things like that, but it's not. We made up our own, basically.
Got it. Great. And what were some of the technical difficulties that you had filming this film?
There were a lot. We tried to use a Steadicam rig called the Movi Pro, and it hadn't been updated when we rented it, and we didn't know that, and it just wasn't working.
So not very steady, huh?
No, that was the first day of the shoot. But yeah, there were more, but that one sticks out.
That one sticks out. Awesome. What was the best day on the shoot?
Best day on the shoot? I don't know. It's just I mean, every day was great because of what we were doing, but I tend to, it's the things that stand out are like, oh, that was rough. I don't know. There were a lot of really good days, though.
Awesome. And when is it going to be coming out in theaters?
I don't know if it's going to be coming out in theaters, but it will be coming out hopefully later this year.
Awesome. So. Wonderful. Well, thank you very much for coming by, and we'll see you next time on The Horror Show.
Welcome. This is our distribution talk show, and today's was an American who been in an Ethiopian restaurant and have taste of Ethiopian foods, and I would like to know from you, what restaurant have you been in Nashville, Tennessee?
So Gojo, which is on Thompson, and then Thompson Lane there, and then also Oash, which is on Murfreesboro Road, are the ones that I've gone to the most. Yeah.
In those two restaurants, how did you know those Ethiopian restaurants?
So I started eating Ethiopian food about 10 years ago. I was traveling with a friend to Addis Ababa, and we wanted to try the food because he's a picky eater and I'm not, and I wanted him to try the food. So we went to Oash and we just ordered everything, just trying it out. What is it? So we did some research, and I'd passed Gojo a lot of times on the road. So
okay, that's how you know. And what was your favorite menu there?
So I really enjoyed Tibbs, and I think that culturally the thing that we had to get over quickly was using injera as your utensils. And, you know, because culturally, you know, you're taking this spongy bread, it's a little bit sour, and very flat. I think it cooks for days or something, and you pick up the thing you're going to eat. And so Tibbs was definitely number one for me.
Yeah, Tibbs is made usually, you know, it's lamb meat, but most American loves to eat veggie, you know, as known, you know, vegetarian love to eat that food. Have you ever tasted the veggie part of?
Yeah, in fact, one of our friends that went with us is vegetarian, so we got the platter, and it was great. And there's some spicy and some not, and
it's kind of buffet. You know, you get to get taste, you know, from each recipes.
Yeah, and you can mix it up.
Here with Don's Personal Trivia Show, and where I invite guests and ask them personal trivia questions. So Norman is my guest today. I met Norman yesterday, and I asked him I told him about my show, and I asked him would he like to be my first guest, and he said absolutely. All right, Norman, let's go. Room, desk, and car. Which do you clean first?
The desk.
Okay. Strangest thing you ever ate for breakfast? Is it pizza?
Nope.
A brownie?
Rice, eggs, and corn.
Rice, eggs, and corn. Oh, yeah, that's the corn. Yeah, that's a little strange. Okay. What is it? What kind of music do you like?
All types.
Okay. What stations do you have programmed in your car?
None.
Oh, okay. What was the last song? Do you have a playlist? What was the last song you listened to on the playlist? Do you remember?
Wow. Oh, last song I listened to was Ray Charles.
Nice. Okay, I like that. Do you know how to swim, Norman?
Yes.
All right.
I got thrown in the ocean, so I had to learn.
Do you have any favorite family members, like a niece or nephew that's like your favorite, and they know they're your favorite?
Yes.
I think that's cool. I do too.
My niece.
Do you watch Netflix?
Yes.
Okay. And have you ever seen the Netflix show Riding in Cars with Comedians?
No.
Oh, man, I really wanted to ask you about that. I like that show. You might want to check it out. Well, Norman, I really appreciate you being my guest on the show today. But I have one last question. Do you have a hobby, and what is it?
Photography.
Nice. Well, that's all for Don's Personal Trivia Show, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Jay. You're talking with Jay. I got my buddy Raymond here, and he has his own show called the Shoreline Sessions. He does a lot with independent artists. So you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So the Shoreline Sessions is one of 3 areas of an LLC that I started in 2018, and I really just needed an outlet to produce and create some creative projects. So it is home to my series, the Shoreline Sessions, but also to my music publishing, Shoreline Music, and then also Shoreline Recordings. And so with the series, it's basically an interview and performance-based series that airs monthly, and I'm interviewing independent musicians, and they're performing 3 of their original songs on set.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, like, what's a crazy moment you've had while filming and interacting with all these different artists? Do you have some weirdos?
No, actually, the artists have been really cool. It's been really good to sit down and just talk to them and hear their stories and learn about not only them personally, but also their artistry and their journeys that they've had as they pursue their artistry. So I can honestly say everyone's been cool. No weirdos.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's see. I'm just going to ask you a random question. I like to do that on this show.
Have at it.
If someone borrowed your body for a week, what quirks would you tell them about so they are prepared?
They would be disappointed, but I wouldn't say any quirks. Actually, if someone decided to borrow my body for a week, they can have it. I mean, you totally do your thing. If you want it, it's all yours.
Cool. Cool. Let's see. Which conspiracy theory is so unbelievable that it might be true?
I'm not really a conspiracy theory type of guy, so I can't really give you one.
Me either. Life's a conspiracy. That's the biggest one.
Yeah,
Life.
I can't really give you one.
All right. Let's see. Let's try something else. What's your favorite Halloween costume you've ever had?
I'm gonna take you back to 2005, which was my senior year in undergrad. A buddy and I had 2 Dell computer boxes, and we wrapped them up in white paper, and we went as sex dice around town.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And we got a lot of pictures with a lot of random people in Oxford, Mississippi.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did anybody want to roll you around on the ground? And play?
Actually, a lot of people shook us for random reasons and took a lot of pictures of us. So yeah, that was Halloween 2005.
Awesome. Well, we're running a little bit out of time.
Okay.
So it was great having you here.
Thank you for having me.
Look at the camera and say goodnight.
Good night.
Hi, I'm Andrew, and I'm here with Charisse,
Yes.
and we're talking basketball.
Yeah, we are.
I guess. What's your favorite team?
Well, I told you I have been a old school Bulls fan since like the 80s, Michael Jordan. So I'm looking forward to the documentary coming up that they've been talking about.
What's the documentary?
Basically the Bulls in the 90s, how off the hook they were. Dennis Rodman, you know, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, the heyday of all the mania. So they've been hyping it up on ESPN. So I'm in for it.
Cool. What's your favorite team to watch now?
Right now, I would say the Lakers for sure. You know, LeBron, and then AD with them. Yeah, they're like my favorite team right now.
Cool. Do you ever watch Sacramento Kings games?
Oh, of course. I mean, I have family, you know, in California, so they give me a hard time via text. We have our little text battles and whatnot. I like De'Aaron Fox, who's on there. Kentucky, Big Blue Nation. And let me see. Well, Willie Cauley-Stein is no longer on there, but I used to like him. And old boy who just got hurt and came back, Rashawn Holmes, I think, is coming back.
Yeah.
So we'll see how he rounds into form.
What do you think about Dwayne Dedmon didn't want to be in Sacramento anymore?
Well, I mean, no one wants to be in Sacramento. But at the same time, you know, you get your money, you know, you play your game, and you ball out, and then maybe you go somewhere you want to go. But you don't want it until you're there, and then the fans are good to you. So you got to show love.
So you didn't hop on the Warriors bandwagon with the...
Nah, I was We Believe.
Oh,
I was the
okay,
We Believe Nation. So, like, I definitely was not on the bandwagon. I was more old school Warriors. Baron Davis, when they were out there, you know, busting on people when they wasn't supposed to do it, and that's my era.
Who's the coach they have? I'm forgetting his name. He was their coach for a really long time. He smokes a lot of weed now.
Don Nelson?
Yeah.
Donnie, yeah, everybody know that. Yeah, I saw him on, what was that? HBO, Real Sports, yeah. Spoke big trees, yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was nice. That's a good retirement plan, I guess.
Yeah, but his story is amazing. I mean, he's done a lot in the game. When you hear about his family, you know, the things that went on there, it was pretty amazing. But yeah, you just never know where the game is going to take you. So that's the amazing thing about sports.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think we're about to wrap up here.
Yeah, nice.
But thanks for taking the time to talk with me today.
Thanks for having me.
About basketball. And yeah.
There we go. Yee.
Hey, it's good to see you again. This is Dave Williams, and it's time for Tunes in Two. And today I have a local musician with me. His name is another fellow David McHenry. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so glad that you're here. So I know a little bit about your background, but you're a musician. Used to be playing several bands, I'm sure.
Yes.
And what was your first band that you were in?
First band I was ever in, it was in high school. It was a band called the Renegades. I voted for Renegade, but I was outvoted. I was the drummer, so there you go. We played all over. We played a lot of high school parties. We were known within the local high school area. Cover band.
Oh, cover band. So was it typically rock, pop? Was it just anything?
Yeah, it's funny. It was rock and pop. The funny thing was, of course, we played everything from B.B. King to, Phil Collins, right? And a lot of the stuff we played, a lot of Beatles and Rolling Stones, because a couple of our frontmen were really into that. But what cracked me up was they went and they got our head shoulder shot made, and they wanted to put a slogan on it. And this was back in 1982. So they came back, and I looked at our poster and I said, "We're the rock band of the '80s. We hardly play any '80s music." So that.
But was
pretty
it
busy.
the '80s?
It was the '80s, and we were a rock band,
Right.
so it was technically accurate.
So accurate to a certain level.
To a certain level, it kind of probably gave the impression we played music of the day, which we only played a couple, but for the most part.
So David, you were the drummer, and I've always heard the mythos around drummers are that they're the quiet one, but they're the crazy one. How was that in your experience?
Absolutely false.
Really?
Yes. I am definitely have never been defined by anyone who knows me as the quiet one. I was in the back, but I wasn't quiet.
Right.
But yeah, no, we had a quiet one who was our bass player.
So I know that you have a new band now, and you're doing it for fun. And so everyone out there should know?
The new band's called Void Contact, and it is, in fact, this is the album cover of our second album.
Nice.
Designed by my oldest daughter, who's a fantastic artist named Sandra Shed. It's called Secrets and Alibis. It's on iTunes, Pandora, Google Play, Spotify. Of course, you can also buy it on CD. And
all outlets available
all
in fine stores.
And yes, and fine stores near you.
Well, thanks for being with me today. That's been Tunes in 2. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.
Hi, my name is Norman, and I'm here with Amelia. Amelia, do you mind if I ask you a couple questions?
Not at all.
First question that I have for you. If you could meet a historical figure, who would you choose and why?
I think I would choose William Shakespeare because I'm a theater nut, and William Shakespeare's got some of the best prose out there, and he just fascinates me. I just love all his plays. Yeah, William Shakespeare.
I asked a theater person that. If you can create a slogan for your life, what would it be?
Oh shit, here we go. Whoopee! Probably that would be it. Like, let's do this. All right.
How would you react? How would you react when someone doing 30 miles an hour on a ramp when the speed limit is 65?
Oh, yeah. So I have a thing about trying not to have road rage. And so what I do is I make up songs. And I had something like that happen to me once. And it was this little old man in this beat up 1970 truck that he was like going as fast as he could. But that little truck would not go any faster than it would. And so I started making up songs. It was like, oh, you're a pokey pokey in a pokey little truck, and you can't go any faster. So I'm waiting for you to get on the freeway so that I can pass you, pokey pokey pokey. And that's what I do.
That wouldn't be a song I'd think of.
Yeah.
I'd think of another song.
Well, I do that so that I don't get angry and rageful and try and run him off the road. Instead, I make myself laugh. And that eases me, and it's all good, and we go on our merry way. He's pokey pokey, and I'm zooming along.
You should teach a class in that.
Gotta make it fun. Gotta make it fun. So it's the best way.
All right, it's our time for now, but I enjoyed talking to
I
you.
enjoyed speaking with you as well.
I'm Norman Enos. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to Talking with Raymond, and I'm your host for the evening, Raymond Wade, and we are joined with a very special guest, Mr. Yeshaw. How are you, sir?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for joining me today. Now, we'll go ahead and jump into it. I know you've been incredibly busy producing a new series, so talk to us about it. What inspired this series? What is this about?
Well, my talk show is called Addis TV USA. It's an Ethiopian social media which is broadcasted on YouTube and Facebook very much to empower the people, by social and economy and as well as politics.
Okay.
We all talk that.
So it sounds like you're covering a broad range of topics. How has the response been?
The response has been fine. I mean, recently I'm getting more and more views and more feedbacks and comments that really a lot of people would love to hear about it and support, to continue or to exist this media.
Now, when did you start filming this project?
I just started actually, for one point of, trying to be part of it just about 2-3 months ago, and so far so good.
Okay, now are you producing this project solo, or are you working with a team?
Actually, it's a one-man production, and very much I do it alone.
Okay. Well, is there anything that we don't know about you that you'd like to share with the viewers at this time?
Yes, actually, beside this, I'm a limo driver, with very much a VIPs, people, more money, so all about, same time I have to work and then I have to do this to support community.
Okay, so as we wrap this up, I'd like for you to tell the followers, if they were interested in watching your show, where can they find it?
Well, if they go to YouTube, at this TV USA, they will see me, or they will find me right there, or on the Facebook at this TV USA. Very much that's what it is.
Okay, well, Yisha, I appreciate you joining us today. Thank you for stopping by, and the best in your video.
You're welcome. Thank you very much for inviting me to your show.
Absolutely.